Okay, so unfortunately this isn't actually as simple to install as it might seem because it's made with command blocks. Basically, if you're using a different world for every single round, you're going to have to install it every single time, but I'm going to try and go through it as quick as possible. So the first step is you're going to need a mod loader with world edit. If you don't know how to do that, then just look at the video up in the card at the top or in the description. It's a guide where I show you some good mods for Minecraft, and at the beginning it shows you how to install a mod loader. So if you don't know how to install world edit, there's a guide in the description. Go ahead and open up the world that I've linked in the description. You need Minecraft 1.19.2 or above to actually be able to open it. And you're going to see this weird contraption here. So there's going to be signs on top that show you what advancement this little thing corresponds to. So there's only 13 preset advancements here, meaning that the game can only actually pick between 13 advancements. This is just so you don't get like super long advancements that take ages to get, like how did we get here? And it's a little bit of a pain to add advancements, but if you're interested to see how all this works and to be able to change the advancements, then be sure to watch to the end. But for now, we're just going to act like you don't care and you just want to use this how it is. So you're going to want to go down here and you're going to want to place 2 blocks. Alright, go ahead and grab yourself a wooden axe. It has to be a wooden axe, and then left click. You'll see first position set. That's a world edit thing. You can go ahead and break that block now. Head up to the other corner and you're going to want to build out 2 so that you basically just want to capture like all the corners of this. So you'll notice that these blocks over here, the corner of this entire structure is right here. Alright, so go ahead and get the corner of this structure up here. You can break those. And the corner is right here because this pressure plate is at that Y level and so is this block. Then you want to right click with the wooden axe on that. Go ahead and stand on top of that block and then you want to go / copy in chat. Alright, and you'll see 756 blocks affected, or however many there are here, it doesn't really matter. As long as you see that it was successful, that's what matters. Then you want to go ahead and type / schem. I spelled that wrong. Save. And then I'm going to call it like advancement. But you can call it whatever you want, just make sure you can remember the name and then hit enter. Oh yeah, well I've already done this before, so I mean I guess if you already have one called advancement, you can do -F to overwrite it. But I would just name it something different if that message comes up. Alright, so now you have a schematic save. If you're playing this on your own, then you can skip the entire next step. I've added timestamps to the video so you can just skip the next step. And the next step requires a server. Now if you don't have a server or you don't know how to set up a server, then I'm not the person to ask. Basically, you're going to need some server host or some way to play with your friends if you want to play with anybody else. So like I said, if you're playing in single player, you can completely ignore that step. So I'm going to go ahead and assume that you already have a server and you just don't really know anything about it. So I'm going to cover it as if you've never really like uploaded a world to a server or anything. So the next thing you need to do is you need to get to your .minecraft folder. Now if you're like me and you use multi-MC or some other third-party launcher, you probably know how to do that. But if you've never done this before, then I'm going to just assume you're on Windows. If you're on Mac, you can figure this out. Alright, I don't know how to do it on a Mac. So if you have File Explorer open, just go up to this bar up here and then type %app data %app data, I don't care, and then it'll bring you to this roaming folder. Just open up .minecraft. Now I have my .minecraft folder in a different drive because I use a different launcher for Minecraft, but it'll look something like this. Alright, there might be less folders, but it doesn't really matter because what you need to do is you need to go to config and then go to world edit and then schematics. Now you probably won't have this many files if you've never used world edit before, but you want to look for the one that you just saved. The one I just saved is called advancement. Honestly, I have no idea what any of these other ones are, but I'm gonna go ahead and drag this right to my desktop just so I can like have easy access to it. Now you need to make sure that your server type is set to like some sort of client that can run world edit. Okay, I kind of worded that poorly. What I mean is you need to be running a modified server. Like you can't just be running vanilla to do this. You need to be running like Fabric or Paper or Quilt or something. So just look up like how to install a Paper or a Fabric or a Quilt server if you don't know how. World edit is available as a plugin if you're using like Paper or something, and it's also available as a mod if you're using Fabric or Quilt. I tend to use Fabric or Quilt just because I know it works and that's what I use for my client. But you're going to want to go ahead and install world edit on the server. If you don't know how to do that, just look up how to install plugins or mods on a server. It's not really that hard. Alright, so I have my server here. I'm just hosting it right on my computer because I know it works and it's just for a demo. Basically, in order to generate some of the files that you're going to need for this for you to like be able to put the schematic in, you're going to have to start the server. I'm assuming you already have like the mods you need. I just have world edit and Fabric API, right? Because I don't really need anything else right now. So I'm just going to start the server, which runs the command that usually uses. Alright, once it says that it's done, you can just type stop. You can just stop the server. Now you're going to want to head to your main directory and then go to config, and you'll see a new folder called world edit. Open up that folder and you can go to schematics, and at this point you drag the advancement schematic right into that folder. And now that it's in there, go ahead and start the server again. So I'll just use the same command. Also, something you you should definitely do is open up the server.properties file, and what you need to do is you need to change enable command block. The default is false, but you should set it to true, because otherwise if you set it to false, the command blocks won't do anything. And at the bottom, I highly recommend setting spawn protection to 0. By default, it's 16, and that just makes like unnecessary spawn protection around your spawn point. Spawn protection is just like you can't break blocks in a certain radius. But for this challenge, you probably don't really want that. Alright, so back in Minecraft now, if you're in single player, this is where you can tune right back in. So since I'm on a server, I'm going to join my server. If you're hosting the server on your computer, you can just type in a server address as localhost. And if you're in single player, just go ahead and open up like any new world. So I'm going to join my server now. Alright, so I'm in my server now. What you need to do is you need to type in OP and then your name. So I guess I can't tab it, but I'm going to do OP Lentern, so now I have operator. Back in the game, you're going to want to do /game mode creative. I'm going to fly like really high up, just to a place where like the structure you put isn't really going to matter. You don't want people like messing with the structure. No, I mean, not like they really can that much, but still. Alright, so now I'm like kind of high up. I would go to the build limit, but I'm not really going to bother. Now you're going to want to do /schem load, and then it's not going to give you a list, but if you type in the name of the schematic, alright, there it is. So that means that it was successfully actually placed into the folder and loaded. And then once you have it loaded, go ahead and type /paste, and this will put the structure from before right up here. I'm gonna quickly go ahead and type /game rule do daylight cycle false, just to like stop the flow of time for now, even though it's like kind of already midday. But while you're messing with this, you do want to keep the daylight cycle off. So you're gonna see the structure that you had before. Next thing you need to do is there's a glitch with world edit where since I had armor stands in that original world, all the pressure plates are like down. So go ahead and get that pressure plate and just replace all of them. It's going to send all the advancement messages in chat. And then once you're done doing that, just run the daylight cycle command again. Now you're going to want to grab an armor stand and place an armor stand on every single one of these pressure plates. So you actually can't place it on top. What's annoying is you have to place it like right next to the pressure plate, and then that'll put it right on top of it. Alright, so I've placed an armor stand on top of all of them now. You should see that they're all powered. All you need to do now is take note of the coordinates of this block. So if I do /set block, and then I hit tab 3 times, it should give you the coordinates, and then just type in redstone block. Go ahead and copy that command. I'm going to fall right back down to the ground. At this point, your friend can join the world. You go back into survival mode. Alright, so now you're just at spawn as if nothing's wrong. Make sure that you're still opt, and then you can paste the command. And then what it's going to do is it's going to send an advancement in chat, and that's the advancement you have to do. At this point, I would also recommend de-opping yourself, because if you use a wooden axe while you have world edit in survival, it'll just like mess up, it'll do the positioning, and you don't really want that to happen when you're just trying to mine a tree. But yeah, now you have set up the advancement race. But wait a minute, how does it work? Well, I'm about to show you, and I'm going to show you how to make your own advancements for this. Alright, so we're back in this world. Before I explain what's in these command blocks, I'm going to explain how this whole contraption works. Basically, none of these command blocks are powered while the armor stands are on top of them, because that redstone torch is not lit. If I break one of these armor stands, it's going to activate that advancement with the sign above it, and then it's also going to turn the daylight cycle on, as you can see. So what these command blocks down here do is anytime a redstone block is placed here, which is what that command from before does, you'll see in here that it's going to kill one of these armor stands. It does it completely by random, so you can see how it picks a random advancement from here, because it'll break a random armor stand, and then when that armor stand is broken, it'll activate this command block. I also kind of worded that poorly. What I meant by this command block is it'll activate the command block that corresponds to the redstone torch, so the one like right next to it, not just always that one. And then this command block up here just turns on the daylight cycle. So the most complicated part about this is actually making your own advancement. So basically what these command blocks are they're a /tellRaw command. TellRaw is basically just like you can send a completely raw message in chat. Like you could fake a join message or anything like that. It's basically just a message that you can change all of the attributes of. I'll also leave the command that I use for this in the description, the exact command that I use, and you can just change all the things that say your text here to whatever you want. That's a much easier way to make your own advancements, and then you just paste that entire command into the command block. You can also literally just break like one of these contraptions if you don't want that advancement in it. If you only wanted to pick between like 3 advancements, you could just keep these 3 and break everything else. And you can also add more of these. They're really easy. You just replicate this, and then once you have the tellRaw command, you just have to paste that into the command block, and then set up this little contraption here with the pressure plate activating this redstone, which deactivates It's this redstone torch with the armor stand on top. And then at that point, you'll have a working advancement race. So that's how this advancement race thing works, and that's how you set it up. I hope you enjoyed. If you want to play it, go ahead. If you use this advancement contraption, maybe just credit me in the description. That would be kind of nice. But you can really reuse this for like any random chat message generator if you want. It does not have to be just for advancements. Because if you change all the command blocks here so that they say like a different message every time, it can literally just be that. It does not have to be advancements. It's not really specific to anything. It's just any chat message. So that's how you set it up. Thanks for watching, I guess.